Hello, 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 YouTube world. It's Miss Patty with For Your CNA with another CNA practice test game show. So happy you guys could join us. And hey, I apologize. The last game show, the one right before Thanksgiving, that one kind of got away from me a little bit. And I'm so sorry that we weren't able to do a game show for the second game show in November. But we're back. We normally do this on the first and third Tuesday of every month at 11 a.m. And I'm so happy that you were able to join us. So good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving for those of you that celebrate. And good morning, Sky Dragon. Oh, I love that name. That's awesome. Good morning, Louise. Hi, guys. Just give me a little hi in the chat. Let me know that you're here. And I'm going to get into what today's game show is going to be all about. So today, instead of focusing on a specific, hi Claw, happy holidays. Instead of focusing on a specific section of the state exam, I pulled 15 questions from all the different categories. So this is going to be kind of like a mini true practice test. It's going to have questions from every category. So it'll give you a really good mix of the types of questions that you might see. Good morning, Rosie. Hi, Aisha. Hi, Francesa. Skills exams in New Jersey on Friday. Oh, good vibes out to you. You're going to do fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for joining us. So today's 15 questions are going to be from all the different categories, just kind of an overall mixed bag to get us ready for what to expect on that state exam. And as usual, you're competing for real prizes. So first place is a t-shirt. You have a couple t-shirts you can choose from. Become Inspire Care is the one that I'm wearing today. You also have our class cheat shirt that has all of the sayings that you need to remember for the state exam. You have the Call to Care or Pink Heart shirt. You have the CNA Care Crew. And you've got the one that I'm wearing, the Become Inspire Care Pink Heart. So lots of different types of shirts. So kind of take a look at this rolling thing and figure out which one you might want if you win first place. And second place is the card game. Now this card game, this is really cool, especially around the holidays. This card game is not just for CNAs. It can be played, it's a rummy style game, so it can be played by anyone in your family. It's a whole lot of fun. It's got a lot of strategy in it, and you might actually interest somebody in pursuing a career in healthcare just simply by introducing them to the principles in this game. So this will go out to our second place winner. And third place, let me pull that up. Third place are our motivational gifts and badge holder. This is the badge holder. You have to win the badge holder. I don't give these out. Not even my students get these. This is a true badge of honor. So the only way to get this is to win on the game show. So now that you know the prizes, let's go over the rules. I'm going to display the content, the question on the screen for 60 seconds. I'll read you the question and the answer choices. And in the chat, you are going to put a number, just one number, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then hit send. Don't put anything else. Don't put any letters, don't put any words, just the number. So the number 1, 2, 3, or 4, hit send. When you hit send, that comment goes to YouTube. And the program that I use sits right on top of YouTube, reads the comments as they come in. So remember, that might be a little bit different order than what you see on your screen. So it grades, or it computes the entries as they come into YouTube, and it awards points. Fastest right answer gets the most points, and it kind of goes down from there. The program keeps track of all of your points through all of the questions, adds them up at the end, and that's how we choose our winner. Now, the program is the final authority. So I know that it may look a little different on your screen because when you put your answer in, your screen keeps that answer right there, but it doesn't account for the time it takes to get it to YouTube. So kind of remember that. And if you win, at the end, I'm going to give you our email address. You will send me your screen name, your real name, and then what place you came in. And if you got the t-shirt, let me know which design you want and your size. All right, guys, are we ready to get going? All right. Here we go. We got about 30 seconds. So get those fingers limbered up. We're going to get going here. 15 test-like questions on all testing topics. We're going to see how we do. So you've got about 5 seconds left. And here we go. Question 1. What is the primary reason for using a barrier when performing a skill? 1, to protect the CNA shoes. 2, to avoid making the bed. 3, to prevent contamination between surfaces. Or 4, to protect yourself from the patient. So what is the primary reason for using a barrier when performing a skill? 1, to protect the CNA shoes. 2, to avoid making the bed. 3, to prevent contamination between surfaces. Or 4, to protect yourself from the patient. So go ahead and lock in your final answer. You've got about 15 seconds left. What do you guys think? I know I started you off with an easy one. I know our last game show, those questions were super hard. I got feedback. These are a little bit easier. Still have to think though, still a little tricky. The right answer here, you guys all got this one right, is to prevent contamination between surfaces. Now, what we use to protect our shoes are called shoe covers, not barriers. We do use barriers on the bed, but we actually call them underpads. So the terminology here actually matters. If you see the term underpad or bed pad, it's regarding that same chucks, but we're using it in a different manner. When you see the word barrier, that means that we're using it as a barrier on the table or on the floor just to give us a clean surface. And barriers don't really do much to protect us from the patient. So that's not really, that's a kind of a throwaway answer here. Hello Sunshine got first place, followed by Daniel, Claw, and Libby. Question number 2. Before providing any type of care, the CNA must 1, ask the nurse how to proceed. 2, explain the task and get permission. 3, document the procedure in the chart. Or 4, insist the patient returns to their room. So before providing any type of care, the CNA must 1, ask the nurse how to proceed. 2, explain the task and get permission. 3, document the procedure in the chart. Or 4, insist the patient returns to their room. You've got about 15 seconds left. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. What do you guys think? Remember, just put numbers, not words. The program does not read words, numbers only. The right answer here is to explain the task and get permission. Absolutely. We don't touch another human until we have their permission to do so. Help isn't help if it doesn't help. Asking the nurse how to proceed, that's what our care plan is for. Our care plan gives us the information we need to succeed. Documenting, we never ever document before we do the task. We only document after we do the task. And insist that the patient returns to the room. Now, this might be the right answer, but most care is going to be done in the patient's room, not in a common area. However, that word insist, never the right answer. If you see that word on the state exam, not the right answer. Claude came in first, followed by Hello, Libby, and Sky. Question number 3. A resident who is experiencing shortness of breath should be placed in what position? 1. Fowlers, 2. Sims, 3. Supine, or 4. Prone. A resident who is experiencing shortness of breath should be placed in what position? 1. Fowlers, 2. Sims, 3. Supine, and 4. Prone. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. You've got about 25 seconds left. Yes, Blue. Hi. Glad to see you. And yes, you are absolutely correct. But before we leave to go get that nurse, what position do we put that patient in to make it a little bit easier to breathe? Go ahead and lock in your final answer. The right answer here is number 1, Fowlers. Absolutely. And you guys all got this one right. I'm super proud of you knowing those positions. That's great job. You will have a position question on the state exam. So you need to know all 4 of these. Fowlers is a sitting up position. Sims is laying on the left side with the left leg kind of up, the left knee up and bent. Supine is on your spine, and prone is laying on your stomach with your posterior up. So Fowlers is sitting up, Sims is on the side with the knee up, supine laying on your spine, prone is laying on your stomach. So good job, guys. Claude came in first, followed by Daniel, Libby, and Hello. Good job. Question number, I think we're on 4. Which of the following is a sign of dehydration? Cold skin, dark urine output, decreased appetite, or elevated blood pressure? Which of the following is a sign of dehydration? 1. Cold skin, 2. Dark urine output, 3. Decreased appetite, or 4. Elevated blood pressure. Yeah, this one's a little bit harder. I'm sorry, Daniela. I apologize. I just read the first little part of that. I apologize. Not Daniel, Daniela. I apologize. All right, you've got about 15 seconds left. Go ahead and lock in those final answers. What do you want to choose here as a sign of dehydration? Yeah, this one's a little bit harder. The right answer here is dark urine output. Yeah, number 2 is the right answer. Cold skin is not usually a sign of dehydration. It's a sign of hypothermia. Can also be a sign of decreased circulation. Decreased appetite, yeah, not really a sign of dehydration. That's not what we're looking for. Elevated blood pressure, actually dehydration will often cause a drop in blood pressure because we don't have as much fluid volume in our system. So dehydration, what we're looking for here is dark urine output. So when your patient goes to the bathroom, you should be looking at that urine. If it looks dark, that's something that needs to be reported right away to the nurse. Claude came in first, followed by Daniela, Hello, and Libby. Good job, guys. That was a hard one. Question number 5. When ambulating a resident with a weak left side, the CNA should stand, 1, behind the resident, 2, in front of the resident, 3, on the resident's right side, or 4, on the resident's left side. So when ambulating a resident with a weak left side, the CNA should stand, 1, behind the resident, 2, in front of the resident, 3, on the resident's right side, or 4, on the resident's left side. This one's a little bit harder, isn't it? A little bit harder. You have to think about those physics principles. How do we want to do this? You've got about 10 seconds left. Go ahead and lock in your final answers. Where do we want to stand? The right answer here is number 4, on the resident's left side. So if a patient has weakness on one side, we're there to help support that weakness, to watch for any signs of stumbling or, the foot just not landing right. I mean, if they're weak, we need to be there supporting that weak side and giving it the help that it needs. Being on the strong side, well, now you got too strong and you got a weak over here and nobody's supporting it. We do not walk in front of a patient and pull them. That's going to kind of knock them off balance. We want to provide support. We don't walk behind them either. And although that one might seem to make some sense, that's not the proper procedure. You want to support that weaker side. Claude came in first, followed by Libby, Daniela, and Hello. Number 6, when should a CNA use a privacy blanket? 1, anytime the patient is uncovered or undressed. 2, when the patient requests one for warmth. 3, only when indicated in the care plan. Or 4, when the family is coming to visit. So when should a CNA use a privacy blanket? 1, anytime the patient is uncovered or undressed. 2, when the patient requests one for warmth. 3, only when indicated in the care plan. Or 4, when the family is coming to visit. What do you guys think? Go ahead and lock in your final answer. You got about 15 seconds left. What do you guys think? If you've watched my classroom live stream, we talk about this a lot. So any of my students know this answer right away, just by the way it's phrased. Yeah, we use a privacy blanket anytime the patient is uncovered or undressed. So bathing, dressing, grooming if we're going to uncover or undress the patient at all. Privacy blankets aren't just there for warmth. Yes, we would give the patient one if they ask for one, but that's not the right answer. 2 isn't the right answer because it doesn't cover all situations. Care plan is not going to tell you to use a privacy blanket. We have to know we use one anytime the patient's uncovered or undressed. And if you're only doing this when the family is coming to visit, that means you know the right answer. You are just not doing it unless you think you're going to get caught. Claude came in first, followed by Hello, Libby, and Daniela. Good job. That was a hard one. I know. Question number 7. The CNA notices a new bruise on the resident's arm. What should the CNA do? 1, put ice on it. 2, ignore it unless the resident complains. 3, report it to the nurse immediately. Or 4, ask the resident's roommate what happened. The CNA notices a new bruise on the resident's arm. What should the CNA do? 1, put ice on it. 2, ignore it unless the resident complains. 3, report it to the nurse immediately. Or 4, ask the resident's roommate what happened. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. You've got about 15 seconds left. What do you guys think on this one? This is a little bit tricky, actually. A little bit tricky. What do you guys think? The right answer here is to report it to the nurse immediately. Absolutely. And most of you guys got this one right. Great job. Anything that we notice on a patient, any injury, has to be reported right away. It might be a conflict between the patient and the roommate. It might be that the patient fell or injured themselves somehow, and that could indicate a decrease in coordination. Asking the roommate what happened, we don't investigate, we report. We don't ignore it because that could be a sign of abuse, and we need to recognize that and have somebody look into it. And we never take an action unless it's indicated in that care plan. So we don't just go put ice on it. We let the nurse know. Claude came in first, followed by Hello, Libby, and Michelle. Good job. Halfway point, guys. Number 8. A resident with dementia becomes combative during morning care. What is the CNA's best response? 1, restrain the resident. 2, stay calm and try again later. 3, yell to get help. 4, document the resident's non-compliance. So a resident with dementia becomes combative during morning care. What is the CNA's best response? 1, restrain the resident. 2, stay calm and try again later. 3, yell to get help. Or 4, document the resident's non-compliance. Let's see here. Yeah, it is our job to care. Absolutely. We report. That's correct. That is correct. Yeah, investigation, no fun. Stay calm and try again later. That's what we're going to do here. Dementia requires finesse. It requires compassion. It requires patience. And sometimes your patients are just going to feel like they don't wanna. And that's okay. We all have those days, right? I've had days where I just don't wanna. Leave me alone. Absolutely. So we have to respect the patient's rights. So we're just going to stay calm. We'll approach them again later, but we don't restrain the patient to provide care. That's not our job. Yelling to get help. Now, it doesn't say they're combative, or I'm sorry, it says they're combative, but yelling to get help means we're going to restrain them, right? Just stay calm. Try again later. Claude came in first on that one, followed by Daniela, Libby, and Michelle. Number 9. When a resident begins to fall, the CNA should 1, lower the resident to the floor in a controlled manner. 2, catch them and lift them back up. 3, run to get the nurse. Or 4, pull them toward the bed. When a resident begins to fall, the CNA should 1, lower the resident to the floor in a controlled manner. 2, catch them and lift them back up. 3, run to get the nurse. Or 4, pull them toward the bed. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. You've got about 25 seconds left. I thought this one was going to be a little harder. Good job, guys. Very good job, guys. All right. So this is actually a change from when I went to nursing school a million years ago. So if you're a very old CNA, one of these questions or answers might have been a little trickier for you. Yeah, we lower the resident in a controlled manner. We don't catch them. We don't stop the fall. But the trick here is to notice that the patient is decompensating before the fall happens. So if they get a little woozy, if they put their hand to their head or to their stomach or out to the wall for stability, they slow down. All of these things can give us a sense that something is going wrong. And we want to intervene before the fall happens. So if we can get them sitting on the floor in a controlled manner, patients that are sitting on the floor can't fall on the floor, and that's how injuries happen. So preventing that fall in the first place is the key. Claude came in first, followed by Libby, hello, and Daniela. Good job, guys. Number 10. The most accurate way to measure a resident's daily weight is to 1, ask the resident for their weight. 2, weigh the resident with shoes and a robe on. 3, weigh them after breakfast. Or 4, weigh the resident at the same time each day. The most accurate way to measure a resident's daily weight is to 1, ask the resident for their weight. 2, weigh the resident with shoes and a robe on. 3, weigh them after breakfast. Or 4, weigh the resident at the same time each day. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. You've got about 15 seconds left. Let me know what you think. What do you guys think? Daily weights are very, very common in facilities, especially if our patients have congestive heart failure or if they're on diuretics. Yeah, we're going to weigh them at the same time every day. And I actually heard this conversation one time when I was working in a nursing home between 2 CNAs. And a patient was on daily weights, and one of the CNAs was really complaining, why do I always have to do the daily weights? Why can't other shifts do them? Why can't somebody get their weight when they get them up? Well, it's because we have to have the weight at the same time each day, because your weight does fluctuate through the day. So if you're weighing at different times, you're going to get different weights. And now we don't know, is it a patient problem or a timing problem? So if you're doing daily weights, that means you're always going to be doing those daily weights on that patient, because it's got to be done at the same time. So Hello Sunshine came in first, followed by Claw, Daniela, and Libby. Great job. Number 11. When should a CNA wash their hands during care? 1, after entering the room. 2, if hand sanitizer isn't available. 3, before and after any resident contact. Or 4, when gloves are not worn. So when should a CNA wash their hands during care? 1, after entering the room. 2, if hand sanitizer isn't available. 3, before and after any resident contact. And 4, when gloves are not worn. When do you want to wash your hands? So go ahead and lock in your final answer. You've got about 10 seconds left. Yeah, this was a little bit trickier. You have to think about this one. Yep. The right answer here is number 3, before and after any resident contact. Now, number 1 is technically correct, but it's not the most correct answer. And in some situations, hand sanitizer is allowed, but that's not the most correct answer. And when gloves are not worn, yes, we're going to wash our hands, but that's not the most correct answer. The most correct answer here is before and after any resident contact. And that is super important that we understand. Infection control principles are the lifeblood of what a CNA does. We've got to understand the importance of hand washing to keep our patients and ourselves safe. Claw came in first, followed by Hello Sunshine, Libby, and Daniela. Number 12. What is the first step of any skill? 1, gather supplies. 2, knock, introduce yourself, and identify the patient. 3, raise the bed. Or 4, put on gloves. What is the first step of any skill? 1, gather supplies. 2, knock, introduce yourself, and identify patient. 3, raise the bed. Or 4, put on gloves. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. You've got about 25 seconds left. Read all the answers before you make your decision. It's an important testing principle. Don't jump right to the first answer you think is right. Make sure you read them all before you make your final choice. There might be a better answer further down. Yeah, we're going to knock, introduce ourselves, and identify the patient. Now, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there that are going to tell you to gather your supplies first. And that's not the correct method to pass a state exam. We have to knock, we have to introduce ourselves and identify our patient, we have to explain the procedure and get permission, and then we have to provide privacy and close by closing the curtain and washing our hands before we go get those supplies. There's a lot of steps that have to happen before you get your supplies. So even though number 1 might have sounded okay, it wasn't the right answer. So read all of your choices. Oh, thank you, Daniela. I appreciate that. Claw came in first, followed by Libby, Hello Sunshine, and Daniela. Number 13. A resident is on blood thinners. The CNA should monitor for 1, bleeding gums and bruising. 2, appetite changes. 3, changing sleep patterns. Or 4, weight gain. So a resident is on blood thinners. The CNA should monitor for 1, bleeding gums and bruising. 2, appetite changes. 3, changing sleep patterns. Or 4, weight gain. What do you think? You got about 20 seconds left. Go ahead and lock in the final answer. And this is important because a lot of your patients are going to be on blood thinners. And it's important that we know as CNAs what we should be watching for to report to the nurse. So go ahead and lock in your final answer. Yeah, bleeding. If they're on blood thinners, they're at risk of bleeding. So any signs of bleeding. Bruising under the skin is bleeding under the skin. Bleeding gums when you're brushing your teeth. Blood in the urine or blood in the stool. All of that has to be monitored for when your patient is on blood thinners. So of course we're always going to notify the nurse for appetite changes, changing sleep patterns, or weight gain. Yes, those are all things that we're going to monitor for, but specifically regarding blood thinners, it's any signs of bleeding. All right, Claw came in first, followed by Daniela, Hello Sunshine, and Libby. Good job. Okay, question number 14. One more to go after this. A resident has an order for a soft diet. An appropriate snack would be 1. Cheese and crackers. 2. Cottage cheese and fruit jam. 3. Vegetables and dip. Or 4. Beef jerky. A resident has an order for a soft diet. An appropriate snack would be 1. Cheese and crackers. 2. Cottage cheese and fruit jam. 3. Vegetables and dip. Or 4. Beef jerky. Oh, this question's making me hungry. All right, what do you guys think? Lock in your final answer. You've got about 15 seconds left. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'm hungry. Wonder what's for lunch. If you guys like this game show, give me a thumbs up on YouTube, please. Cottage cheese and fruit jam is the way to go here if the patient's on a soft diet. We don't want something they have to chew. Nothing crunchy, chewy, or hard. So crackers are crunchy. Vegetables are hard. Beef jerky is chewy. So none of those will work for us here. We want something soft. So cottage cheese and fruit jam would be the way to go. You also might have yogurt or pudding or jello or ice cream. Anything that's really soft. If the patient has to have a protein, a can of Ensure with a scoop of peanut butter powder, awesome protein snack for our patients that need a little more protein. Libby came in first, followed by Claw, Hello Sunshine, and Daniela. And Daniela, I'm sorry, no, 4th place doesn't get a prize. Last question, here we go. A CNA is caring for a resident with Alzheimer's disease. What strategy promotes cooperation? 1. Giving short instructions. 2. Doing all tasks yourself to save time. 3. Provide a written list of steps. Or 4. Perform all care before breakfast. So a CNA is caring for a resident with Alzheimer's disease. What strategy promotes cooperation? 1. Giving short instructions. 2. Doing all tasks yourself to save time. 3. Provide a written list of steps. Or 4. Perform all care before breakfast. Got about 10 seconds left. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. This is our last question. Last question. But we'll be back right before Christmas. Giving short instructions is the way to go. 1 step at a time. Give them the step, short instructions, let them do as much for themselves as they can. We want to promote independence. But you don't want to overwhelm them with information. You also don't want to take over and do all the tasks for them. That makes somebody very dependent. And trying to do everything before breakfast can just be overwhelming, especially if your person is not a morning person. So the one strategy that we want to do here to gain the cooperation is just to give them short instructions, provide encouragement, and let them progress at their own pace. Good job, guys. So Michelle came in first on that one, followed by Claw, Hello Sunshine, Libby, and Daniela. So let's see who gets prizes. Claw came in first, followed by Hello Sunshine, and Libby in third place. Good job, guys. I'm so proud of you. So let me put this in here. So here's your prizes. First, second, and third place winners. You're going to send an email to foryourcna@gmail.com and make sure that you give us your screen name, your real name, your mailing address, and if you're first place, tell me which t-shirt you want to claim. So we'll go over those t-shirts one more time so you can take a look. You've got Become Inspire Care, the Pink Heart shirt, CNA Care Crew, our cheat shirt, which has all of our sayings. So one of those, you'll tell me which design you want and your size. And that's going to be for Claw. So, again, we will be back here on the third Tuesday of December. I'm not even sure what that date is. Hold on, I'll tell you. The 16th, right before Christmas. So try to work us in around all those Christmas parties. We'll be happy to see you back here on the 16th at 11 a.m. for another CNA practice test game show. I'm so glad that you found these questions easy. I'm glad. Next ones, I'll see if I can make a little more challenging, but I don't want to make them different than what you're going to find on the state test. So if you found these easy, chances are you're going to do pretty well on the state exam. We're going to have our next classroom live stream begin on January 5th. So if you have a chance, feel free to join us. And if you found any value in this, if you would like to recommend it to somebody else for study, make sure you give us a thumbs up on YouTube and let somebody know about the game show. Let's get these numbers up a little bit so that others know about this valuable resource to help them pass the state exam. Because the more people we can get to become CNAs, the easier our workload is going to be because we won't be so short-staffed. So you should be recruiting, right? That's important. Find a friend because it can make your job a whole lot easier. All right, guys, until next time, thank you so much for joining me. I know that December is a very crazy month, and I'm super happy to have you here with me. Until next time, happy caregiving. Bye.